Welcome to another Transformers Prime review. This time we're looking at the Robots in Disguise Revealers Arcee. Now, when images of this figure first came out, I was initially very enthused about it. I thought it looked really good, and then I saw better photographs of it in reviews, and I thought it didn't look so good. And then not too long ago, I thought, what the hell, I'll give it a chance, and I ended up really loving this figure. This is actually the second one I got. First one I got, the forehead crest was unpainted and broken off in half. I posted a picture of it on Twitter and returned it and could not find another one in my area for the life of me, not in any stores. So I had to go buy this one online, I meant, and this one's in pristine shape. So here we have the motorcycle itself, and it looks pretty good. Nothing really too spectacular about it. Comes with an arm blade and a cannon, and I accidentally kept the second arm blade, so now she has two from the first one. It does have a kickstand, but I find it very finicky because you have to have it just the right angle, and even then sometimes it just won't stand. I find that the kickstand just worked a little bit better on the first edition, and plus it has these pegs here that were kind of left over from the first edition mold, but the blades do not attach on any way to them, so that's kind of funny. Another thing, one of the things that really did bother me about this figure, and still it's kind of is that this figure doesn't have any pink on it, which is really, it's taking a little bit getting used to, because I just would have much preferred it to be as show accurate as possible and to have some pink highlights on her, but it still does a good job. Bike is very small, but it's a little bit bigger than it should be. But robot mode, is what it really sold it for me. So let's zoom out a little bit. Well, already am zoomed out. Aha. First thing I'm going to do is pull open these flaps here. Then take this section, extend it down, split it at the wheel. Now this part makes me really nervous because this hinge is real tight, and it's such a small connection. It feels like it's going to break anytime, especially right here. There's so much resistance. You see a tiny little hinge there. It's not necessarily a good feeling. Do the same thing for this side. That one's worse. Bring out the hands. And when you push down the pelvis, the head will pull up, showing the revealer gimmick. Take this wheel, kind of turn it back like that. Bring it as close to the back as possible, about there. And that's it. That's her in robot mode. And I really, really like the way this figure looks. This part doesn't even look that bad in person. Sure, the wings are a little bit huge. I would have, of course I would have preferred it to, eliminate as much of this as possible, but it really doesn't look that bad. The shade of blue is off, but it still works. I just wish they could have worked in some pink. And I thought about getting the Takara one because I thought it had pink paint on it, but it actually ended up being stickers, which I'm not too fond of at the moment. And I'm maybe thinking about getting some paint and painting her, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route, or maybe I just leave it alone. But yeah, it still looks really good. It's appropriately small. The first edition Arcee was almost as tall as Bulkhead, which really was weird. This one's just a little bit shorter than Bumblebee, so it still is a little bit too big as far as proper scale goes, but it looks a lot better. And if the whole body is just it just feels more sleek and just not necessarily thinly, but just, you know, not really bulky as the first edition was in some areas. Well, before you get that, she has ball jointed neck, which allows for some up and down and left right movement. Ball jointed shoulders, elbows, and wrists. No waist articulation. Hip, ball jointed hip. Really good knee, but no foot. So it's a little bit hit and miss as far as articulation goes. You can take your arm blade, put on either arm, or, you know, if you happen to have two, you can go for that look, which just makes it look deadly, which is pretty cool. Yeah, these are pretty big for the figure, but it still doesn't look bad. And you can take her gun here, attach it to her hand, and she now has that huge gun, which is supposed to resemble the gun that her either arm can transform into in the show, or you can go this route right here, which is still huge. I have no idea why they made it this big. Let's get a closer look in at her and see some of the details here. I just think that this whole figure just looks really good. I'm very happy with it. From what I do understand, though, it is getting harder to find. So I would definitely say pick this one up if you see it in stores. And even right now on BBTS, it's only like $1 more than what it normally retails for. It was at $21.99, but they just dropped it to $13.99. So it's still a pretty good deal. All you really have to pay for is shipping, which I really don't have a problem with. And yeah, I really recommend it. It just looks so smooth and just not chunky looking as the first edition was. Really, really recommend any Transformers Prime fan pick this one up. Alright, until next time, thanks for watching.